Hello everyone, it's Munesu here. I'm the editor of Powering Africa. With me today is Tiaan Burger, the managing director of Vegas Equipment and Sprays, a renowned supplier of yellow metal solutions in South Africa and Southern Africa at large. Um, Vegas has just entered into a distributorship agreement with XCMG. So Tiaan is going to expand on it today. Tiaan, welcome.
Thank you so much, Manuel. Nice to see you again.
Congratulations on the new
Thank you so much.
venture. Just tell me more about it. When did you?
Yeah, so it happened. It was quite well. I would say a quick decision, Munisa, but so we went to China last year in November, and we were looking at some other partnerships. So we actually looked at a few OEM suppliers. I'm not going to mention too much names, but there's quite a few in China. But XCMG stood out as the fact that they're quite big. I mean, I think they the fourth largest in the world. I think number one in China on mining and construction. And they gave us the opportunity to make up a configuration that was similar to what we wanted and what we did previously, which is quite important for us in the South African market. We want something that is unique to what we sell and unique to what the customer wants. So I think that was one of the main reasons we choose or we ended up deciding on XCMG.
So, what sort of range are you distributing?
So currently we'll be looking at the wheel loaders, excavators, graders, rollers, which would be which would form a main line of the supply. On the wheel loaders, of course, we will try and focus on, let's call it, your more volume markets, 3 ton, 5 ton. 7 ton not that popular, but of course we actually have sold some of them. So it's actually quite well. Excavators, of course, will focus again high volume markets, 21 ton, 33 ton, 50 ton, up 70, 90 ton.
I think one of the talking points today here, Tiaan, is the wheel load, the hybrid wheel load. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you as much as I can, Munisa, on what I know. So the wheel loader, we've looked at the EVs before, and I think we've had this conversation before, which I've mentioned to you. I think the full EVs is definitely something which I think the whole world is pushing to in a greener kind of environment, kind of based setup. But we've always said that I think the HEV or the hybrid wheelers is something more sustainable in South Africa or for the African market. So the two wheelers we currently have as an option is a 958 and a 978, which is a 5 ton and a 7 ton, 7 or up to even a 9 ton, which is actually quite a very nice setup into the sense of the hybrid, let's call it setup, and then of course the configuration on that. So your 958 works on a small diesel power plant still, which then charges a small battery, which then at the end of the day drives 2 electric motors, which on one supplies power to your both your axles, and the one supplies power to your hydraulic system. On a 978, a little bit of a bigger diesel power plant, which then of course also then charges a battery, which then works through 3 power motors, which then one for the front axle, one for the rear axle, and then one for the hydraulic setup, which you can actually then even on the inside. There's so much of changeability, maybe that's the right word. So you've got a full hybrid mode, you've got a park hybrid mode actually, which I'll give you a bit of insight, and then of course a full electric mode. Which the one is like a full hybrid mode. The computer decides on where the power is needed, and it looks at the battery percentage and so on. The park generation power mode is like, should you use the machine, it will only supply power from the battery. Should the machine stop and wait for either loading a truck or the machine will then, of course, the engine will kick in, charge the battery up to a point, and then you've got the full hybrid mode, which I think most of the customers will use. So
Awesome. That's interesting. Because if we're speaking of interesting stuff, I was glad to see that the uptake is already there with Opscore taking delivery of 4 today.
Yeah, so they were actually, as you know, I don't think there's any introduction to Opsicle. They've been a dedicated partner to us for 40 years. Myself and Opsicle ownership goes back plenty of years. And I mean, we really very, very appreciative of the fact that, I mean, the moment we actually went for the XCMG machines, I mean, Kurban and Serat and them got in contact with us, and I mean, they were really looking at the hybrid models. So we had a few meetings, and at the end of the day, they actually took 4, of which 2 is 958 and then 2 is 978.
Yeah. And then, you know, a brand, you know, I think we've spoken about this before. A brand is one thing, but you know, people buy from people, and I think so. Sure, today I see most of your customers are here today, and they've already sold a lot of machines in the market. You know.
Yeah, I think, Manisa, I think you've got a good point there. So yeah, people do buy from people, but I mean, I don't want to go into the historic names and brands and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, we've been in the market for quite a while, so. And I think we've got, I'm not saying we've got a special kind of way in which we do stuff, but I mean, I do feel that there is a place for Chinese OEM equipment in South Africa, don't get me wrong. But we really try and do it the way that we think there is sustainability. Yeah. So I'd rather focus on a few models in the market, make sure I've got the parts, make sure I've got the backup. And I think maybe that's what, I mean, maybe some customers, well, I hope that the most of the customers do see that as a positive kind of offering to them. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping and I'm sure that we will keep our current and maybe existing new future customers happy. I think it's a good machine, don't get me wrong. But yeah, at the end of the day, everything lies in the support after you bought the machine.
And I think that's an area where you've always excelled. You know, I've been to a number of the customers. We've done a lot of articles together over the years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think one of your key strengths has always been your support, support. You know, just looking at the market in future, Tiaan, my last question, what's your out? You know, mining market, construction, how do you see things turning out?
Yeah, so the fact that XCMG's got quite a wide offering, so I think, I mean, there's quite good, big and good opportunities in the construction and the mining market. XCMG definitely actually a lot bigger in the mining sector. I mean, they do machines on the excavator side up to 600 tons, yeah, and on the not articulated on your mining trucks up to 400 tons. But I mean, I don't think currently that's something, I'm not saying we're not focused on that. But I think construction and mining is always up and down. I mean, commodities and so on. Yeah. But we'll still focus on wherever there is opportunity. I mean, we've got current customers, and of course, we'll try and service those customers and see where there are any opportunities to sell to those customers again. And then we'll go wherever the wind blows us.
So, I'm really chuffed about the new opportunity, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for also being here for a special day. I really do appreciate it. So,
yeah, it's for having us. We really appreciate it.
Only my pleasure.
Looking forward to doing a lot more together.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Thanks.